Hi traders, we have GDP tomorrow for the US and the UK, and on the left we have the 60-minute, on the right we have the daily. So we've come up from the bottom of the channel here to just above resistance, put a reversal bar in, and now we've retested the 50 MA. Now ordinarily that would be a bounce. With GDP tomorrow we may get a bounce into monthly R1, at which point I'm looking for another way down. If you look at the behavior this time of year, traditionally we tend to tail off, move sideways to weak, and then back end of October into November we normally get a run into Christmas. So I would sit tight. I'm going to look for shorts up here once the data's out of the way, if I get a reversal signal up here. Otherwise I would stand aside. So while I remember, I want to put a alarm in just shy of that pivot. Terrific day for the pound. I mean, the pound has been phenomenal. Now, I have to say I mismanaged this pound. This is the pound US dollar, but I'll talk about the pound yen in a minute. 160 was bought, and we are above monthly R2, so we could easily be breaking that tomorrow with UK GDP. If you want to get long this, you are buying high, but a pullback to 160.40 could be a good place to get long, with a stop under 159.50 to see if that can bust up. Now, if you look at the weekly pivot on this, on the 60-minute, I basically was impatient this morning, and I paid the price because I started getting in here, and of course it dipped right close to there, so I got stopped out here, and so I did start scalping up here into this resistance, but only got a portion of that instead. I should have got a fair whack of that. I don't expect to get the whole level, but I do think I mismanaged that, so I will have to be much more patient and look after my account when we are playing around key pivots like this. Okay, having scalped up here, I did buy this low before the close as I was doing this video, because I want to see if that can pick up and give me a run overnight. You can see we've got all three moving averages here. So the 100 has been touched at the low, and this is the 50 here, which we are just narrowly above. Alright, so I've got my stop underneath here, and I'm going to see if that can. I like the daily, two bottoming tails down there. So if we can break that monthly pivot, we should get at least move up to 160 tomorrow. If you're not in that, try and look for 158, but still don't get in too close to the data. Otherwise, just wait till the data's out of the way at 9:30 UK time, and then see if there's a setup. We will of course be looking at that in the room. Euro US dollar. Talked about the weekend coming back down to the daily 8. 134.65 was bought, and we are currently up here, so that is now a pullback at 135 tomorrow. Euro yen. I like it. We've held this, we tested this hammer twice over the last couple of days. We've closed narrowly above yesterday's close, so we are just hanging in there. However, if you look at the congestion 60-minute chart, the fact we haven't closed above the 8, that is a little lower probability. Anytime you take a trade with an 8 EMA, any chart that can't get above the 8, you have got a lower probability that can work. However, I still think it's worth a shot. Just don't put too much money on it. So tomorrow, if we get 133 and it holds, that is a buy. Euro pound. It shows the strength of the pound against the euro. Some of these other pairs are doing really well. That's a lovely move. It was a good mover yesterday. It continued today. Pound Aussie dollar is doing me a treat. That looks very similar to the euro CAD. That is now a buy at 171. I think that is extremely good setup. In fact, I will alert that just to help people in the room if I see that level. And let's look at the Aussie US. Yeah, I would steer clear of that and wait until we get 92.50. Gold is coming up. A lot of mining stocks that have performed well today. We had Hammer close above, so that's a buy at 13.30. If we hold out for 25, get a better price. Let's see if we can retest that Hammer and then start to move back up to resistance. Oil is looking very, very weak. This is a Hammer without extreme RSI, so we're just waiting for the ATMA to come across. I did get 40, 50, 50 points out of it at the open and then left it, just stood aside. It wasn't a particularly good chart today. A lot of sideways action, gap down on the indents and so on. Alright, so a couple of stocks. Barclays doing okay, but sideways. Domino's weaker. I still think it's going to come down to 563. And look at the the Labour Party has killed these energy stocks. If we look at Centrica is very, very similar. That's a huge drop, and I think if Labour get elected, the UK is in trouble, and that industry in particular is going to have a lot of problems. Meddling with a major supply market like that is extremely dangerous and very old-fashioned. Vodafone. That's finally, everybody who was very patient with Vodafone has finally got paid. So gapped up, came into a major fib level of support, a big round number, and we are 217. Alright, leave it there and see you tomorrow. In the room, of course, we'll be looking at the GDP data, so please join us then.